Good morning, Elvis fans. So a lot of you probably saw the short video that I posted last night about Priscilla Presley filing a lien on Graceland in April of 1977, which predates Elvis's major drop and death just a few months later. Elvis Presley had a divorce settlement with Priscilla that they both agreed on, and then Priscilla spent that money really quick and on a failed business venture. So she decided to sue Elvis again. And let me say right now, you're gonna want to watch the full 8 minutes of this video because there's a lot of shocking revelations in here that Priscilla doesn't want you to know. The second lawsuit, which was a betrayal, put him in a vicious cycle of having to tour and tour. And it's also one of the reasons why he had to let Red go, and Sonny West go, and Dave Hebler, which in turn created the book Elvis What Happened, because that book never would have came out if it wasn't for the huge financial duress and stress and pressure that Elvis was under. So anyways, Elvis Presley had to tour continually in 77 and 76, obviously, to keep up with the payments and probably the veiled threat of this action right here. Priscilla felt that she was owed a huge amount of money from Elvis still, and so in order to tighten the screws on him, because she loved him so much and they were always going to reconcile, and he was the love of her life and she was the love of his life, she decided to put a lien with her attorney on Graceland on April 29th, 1977, which completely contradicts everything that Priscilla Presley has always said. And I don't know how any Priscilla defenders can even really come to the defense of this, except for perhaps she felt she was owed money. And I ain't saying she's a gold digger, but there's that song, and it flies in the face of all the statements that she's continued to make. Anyhow, so Priscilla Presley, in my opinion, with this lien on Graceland, hastened Elvis Presley's death pretty quick. The attachment on Graceland with this lien was for $494,024 and looks like 49 cents. This would never have come to light if it wasn't for public records, because there is no way in the world Priscilla would ever want this out. And I don't know if Lisa Marie Presley even was aware of this, to be honest. But if she was, I think she can put two and two together as well. Elvis Presley just toured and toured. Even when he couldn't get up because of all his medical ailments and really, the prescription drug use to try to control all the pain and really probably some emotional issues as well, he still was forced to go on stage, because if he didn't, he would owe that venue money. He would owe the band and the orchestra money. So he was a dancing puppet for Priscilla Presley and Colonel Parker until the very end of his life, and he was still going to go out on the road. And like I said, then the night that Elvis Presley died, he did have conversations with people around him that questioned how long he would be around. So I think he really knew that his earthly time was coming to an end. Between the failed racquetball venture where his friends really ripped him off for money because it just was not a good business plan, Priscilla wanting more and more money, and Elvis Presley not having any way to get money besides these concert tours, which is, for a healthy individual, it is a stressful thing. Being an entertainer myself, when you're on the road, and you've got responsibilities and rehearsals and you've got interviews and press, if you're healthy, it's still a stressful thing. Fun for a little while, but then it becomes a work. It becomes a drain. And Elvis had medical issues that were being unattended to. And, when he got off the road, sometimes he'd get put in a hospital for a while, and then he would be out and a little bit healthier. But there was no way Elvis Presley was going to survive the greed that is Priscilla and all the people that were around him. And there's going to be a lot of people that don't understand, that say, $494,024, why didn't Elvis pay her? Think about it. $494,000. You think that Elvis would have that money, but he didn't, because his bills were so high. It was $500,000 a month to keep Graceland up. And then he had to pay for the tours, paid for the buses, the gas, the employees, the orchestra, all that stuff. That's all on the artist. So when Elvis Presley played a show and they said, "Oh, he had $40,000 in gross receipts," well, that $40,000, Elvis might have seen 3,000, 5,000, 10,000. It's a lot of money to run a tour. And then, of course, you know, the talk about Elvis Presley selling his publishing. Well, Colonel Parker got half of that, and really, Priscilla got the rest. And he still owed her a lot of money, and he was continuing to pay support. But what she wanted was she wanted her money from her settlement. She wanted her cash money for being the cash cow, that trapped Elvis Presley, or whatever like that. Or she wanted to make him pay for him having an affair with Anne Margaret and other stars or whatever, or for him being Elvis Presley. She left him, never came back, never intended to. She flaunted her relationship with Mike Stone and anybody else in the public limelight. And she, was not supposed to use the last name Presley. And she didn't until Elvis Presley died. And then she grabbed a hold of it. And she has not stopped milking it, not even today. She has these little tours at casinos and stuff where she goes and she talks. But the only reason people come is because of her attachment to Elvis Presley. Without Elvis, she's nobody. She would have been nobody. Well, she would have been a person, a human being. She'd been a wife to somebody and a mother, and probably a good wife and good mother to somebody, as long as she felt, special or whatever, because she, according to her friends in 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, she was always after Elvis. She had a fanaticism for him, and she thought she was special. I mean, there was a talk that one of those homecomings, it was rigged for her to become the queen, and that her mother had paid $100 to somebody to rig the vote. So Priscilla Presley has to be in the limelight. She has to have the attention. And to me, that's not a good human being if she's constantly having to be that and crave it. That being said, what we know here is that she put a lien on Graceland. She was trying to take it from Elvis. What would have happened if Elvis got really badly sick and he was in the hospital for 6 months? Couldn't afford to pay for all this stuff. Guess who would have owned it? It would have been Priscilla Presley. Of course, Elvis probably could have gotten some loans and stuff like that. But the thing is, she could have taken it to court. Elvis is not paying me this money, and now I'm owed interest on it. Anyhow, I'm kind of rambling, but at the same time, I think I'm saying a lot of things that you guys are thinking out there. And I think, this information needs to be out there. And if she would have gotten the right judge, one that didn't like Elvis Presley for some reason, maybe his girlfriend or wife loved Elvis and he was a jealous type of guy, she might have been awarded Graceland. After all that Elvis Presley did for everybody around him, and how giving and loving and, how he shared his money with everybody, to have something like this happen is a complete betrayal, a horrific betrayal of who Elvis Presley was, who gave of himself until he had nothing left. Well, it wasn't enough for Priscilla. She wanted more and more and more, and this type of thing is what killed Elvis. Share this video, of course, as much as you can. Let me know in the comments below what you think as well. Until we talk next time, TCB TLC, much love to everybody out there in Elvis land. Share this video, of course, as much as you can. Let me know in the comments below what you think as well. Until we talk next time, TCB TLC, much love to everybody out there in Elvis land.